guys, that's a gamer here, and I want to welcome you to another episode of Transformers Prime. We are on episode 7. So let's go ahead and watch this cutscene. I did cut some of this out, but I mean, this very beginning part I felt kind of important. Basically, they found Thunderwing's power core, and we have to stop them from trying to get it back to base. But I can already tell you that the game has other stuff. Um, so right now, Bulkhead is to chase Starscream, and but I will say in this episode we are not Bulkhead. We are actually Optimus again. But today I wanted to talk to you about Megatron. Since I've already talked so much about uh Optimus. Megatron, yes, he is a ruthless leader. As I may have mentioned in a previous episode, before he was Megatron, he was known as Megatronus because he named himself after one of the 13 original primes. So, but Megatron himself, he it kind of came to nip him back in the butt later. Later, he was killed by Bumblebee, which is how Bumblebee got his voice back. But I think I mentioned that in a previous episode, because he was killed by the Star Saber that Bumblebee was holding. Feature Betsy, if you could throw up a picture of um the Star Saber with Optimus holding it. But when Megatron was killed, there was actually a Transformers Prime movie which took place after the events of Transformers Prime in the show. And in that movie, Megatron actually was brought back to life by Unicron. Yes, that Unicron that I mentioned in the last episode. But Megatron, he, or was it either the last episode or the episode before? Um, But when he was brought back to life, he wasn't in control of his own body. Basically, Unicron was using him as a slave. And so, Megatron, after he finally got out of that, thanks to a nice little relic that was holding the Allspark. I don't remember what that relic was called, so I don't think I'll be able to find the picture, but um, Megatron really realized the true meaning of oppression. Oh, future Betsy, throw up a picture of what Megatron looked like after that whole ordeal. Um, because he kind of got his own upgrade after that, which is pretty interesting, actually. Excuse me, sorry. So, um, so we just have to go to this temple, I guess. I'm not really sure what this temple was for. All I know is Bulkhead is there. Um, so let's go ahead and get going. Okay, so we have to fight more Decepticons, EA. But as you saw, um, we did defeat Megatron. Um, but I thought I'd also talk about more about kind of like how Optimus and Megatron became enemies. I don't know if I mentioned that in a previous episode. Um, well, basically, like Megatron, when he was known as Megatronus, and he had just shortened his name to Megatron, came before came before the temple, or came before the council of Cybertron, and was asked and basically said um that the new that whatever order was there at the time needed to be brought down by force, which, as you know, is not a very good idea. And he arrogantly demanded to be named the next Prime. But honestly, that wasn't even up to the council. Sure, they could see someone worthy of being a Prime, but they couldn't officially name anyone as a Prime because they had to retrieve the matrix of leadership, which, as but that was even before Optimus was a Prime. So he was Orion Pax at that time. But when he did become a Prime, it was just because Megatron had already started the Decepticons, and and Optimus went down to see if he could fix the alien effects that Megatron had brought on with the war. And that's when an alien Primus gave Optimus the Matrix of leadership, making him Optimus the last of the Primes. Yes, it's true. Optimus is the last Prime, but he's actually one of the um. But even though he was the last Prime, that probably makes him one of the wisest Primes. I could be wrong about that though. I don't really know much about the other Primes. But I'll do my best. I know there's Mike Cronus. Mike Cronus was probably more like a minicon. He was um he was probably the minicon of primes. So but minicons aren't really in Transformers Prime except for Laserbeak. Um which yeah, I'll go ahead. Picture me if you can, just throw up a picture of Laserbeak because he's not really in this. Laserbeak is basically the eyes and ears of Soundwave, which who we met again in the last episode. Ooh, sorry, excuse me. Um, so what's going on here is basically we found out that our weight isn't easily supported by these um bridges, which kind of makes sense. Um, but I mean, because we are robots. Well, not robots. We are what? What did Optimus say? Atomic robotic organisms from Cybertron, which makes a lot of sense actually. So we just have to get across here. Wow, that was horrible. All right, let's try that again. But this time I have to jump, and jump is B, and it's not working. Okay, let's try this again. And B. No, sometimes it doesn't work, so I'm gonna test it. And B, there we go. All right, so now that we're across, all right. So sometimes my controller does not like to work. Sorry about that. Um, but I wanted to go ahead and tell you some exciting news. Since this is my first series, is a short series. But my second series will be starting here soon, actually, because um, I'm actually believe it or not, I'm halfway through this. Um, because there's only like 13 episodes or something or 13 levels, and I'm gonna have to combine some of those levels because they're so short. Um, so this will be fairly easy. Um, but once we get through that, um, I can, once we get through those, but once this series is over, I'll be starting my next series, and that will also include my very first guest, which which if you watch any other Let's Play channels, I would hope you would know him. But it's the one and only Angry Monkey. That's right. Angry Monkey will be my very first guest in my next series. Um, and we're actually playing a very classic game, which I will say I have played, but I've never beaten. Because I have a tendency of giving up. But this game was just so easy. The Transformers Prime was just so easy that I could easily beat it as many times as I did. Okay, come on. All right. So we got that. All right. So this episode, um, probably about the same length as some of my other episodes. So I hope you're enjoying this series. No, my next episode will not start my new series. In the next episode, I believe we will be Ratchet. So look forward to that. And yeah, so um, Megatron just trapped Optimus, and um, um, now Optimus is practically missing. So we got a B, so that's good. So yeah, and again, in the next episode, we will be Ratchet. I will see you guys then.